Mommy is not very happy with you, DC. Mommy is starting to be very disappointed in you, DC. Mommy is starting to favor your brother Marvel just a little bit more, DC. Why? Why are you doing this? Hey guys, Archer here again, and it's been a while since I've made a video, but as many of you know, DC just launched their first trailer for Titans, and a lot of us, you and myself, are disappointed with it. Now, they've been working on this show for quite a while, and we even had like a release of like costumes and everything. Cast members were released, but we finally got our first trailer, and there still leaves much to be desired from it. I'm gonna get smaller stuff out of the way so I can tackle some of the big stuff. Whenever like the costumes were kind of leaked, the actress, all of the actors and actresses' names kind of slipped my mind, but the actress who was going to play Starfire kind of caught wind at how disappointed everybody was with how just ordinary it looked, and she was just like, I'm really sorry that those photos came out. They weren't supposed to come out yet. But at the same time, I want everybody to be really excited about this. This is not your first look. There's so much more that you're going to get to see. And just be nice and be patient. And so everybody's like, okay, fair enough. That's true. We didn't get to see like the official thing. But in the official trailer, Garfield, Beast Boy, and, Starfire, like, their costumes in the trailer looked exactly the same as to what those photos looked like whenever they leaked out those photos for the costumes. Like, they looked pretty much the same except for some CG on Starfire's hair and eyes. And it's still just kind of so-so and blah. And I think I saw a smidge, like, where Garfield is green, but still, like, we didn't get to see a lot of screen time with, Beast Boy and Starfire at all. So, we don't know anything about them yet. I'm gonna freeze this for a second. You guys are kind of wobbly. But anyway, we didn't get to see a lot of them. The focus wasn't on Starfire or Beast Boy at all. We just got a couple frames of them. The focus was on Raven and Dick Grayson, Robin. And we know that it's, that they're doing Dick Grayson because of the whole circus boy thing and everything like that. And, like, we know it's him. But he doesn't act like Dick Grayson. I'll get to that in the very, very end, because honestly, that's what frustrates me the most as a Dick Grayson fan. But Raven, I've been seeing a little bit of what everybody's talking about, trying to make her all meek and shy, and she doesn't know her own strength and stuff like that. She doesn't know where she's coming from. Like, that's what we kind of gather in the trailer, and that's what we got a little bit in the DC animated film of Teen Titans, where, Damian Wayne as Robin meets Raven, and Raven's kind of unsure of herself. But she knows where she's from. Like, she knows what she is. She knows where she came from. She just feels very threatened by her own abilities, so she doesn't use them. But in the next DC animated movie, Teen Titans Judas Contract, we do get to see Raven being a bit more sure of herself and a bit more stoic and less shy and just more, stoic and kind of serious. And that's what we see in Teen Titans. Like the animated show. She's very sure of herself. She's very sure of what she is. And she knows, to an extent, how to control her powers and her abilities. She knows what she is, and that's why she's afraid of herself, but very, very brave in the fact that she knows that she has to control, Trigon inside of her. But from the trailer, we don't see her being, serious, kind of stone-faced, or just as she is in the comics, just very blunt and to the point and reserved and quiet. She's so shy looking and like very unsure of herself and very much like begging for help and sort of not what we're used to. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it, about her. She, you know, again, she doesn't seem to know where she's come from and what she has inside of her. But all right, let's get to Dick Grayson. I can't wait anymore. So if you haven't seen the trailer, and I implore you to do so, just pause the video, go watch it, do it. I'll wait. Alright, let's assume you've seen it. So, in the trailer you see, you know, a normal, like, thugs in an alley sort of thing, and there's Robin scampering over the rooftops, and he's, you know, jumping down and fighting them. It's like, alright, cool, that's neat, that's really cool. And then he kills them. Not only does he kill them, but he takes one of the thug's guns and shoots them with it. So, and like I said, we know it's Dick Grayson because they show, you know, the circus where his parents died and all that stuff. They show you like bits of that, and we know it's him. But he doesn't act like Dick Grayson at all. And that became very apparent whenever you saw like the way that he killed criminals. He killed with a gun and he said, F Batman. Oh my gosh, that just killed me inside. To hear Dick Grayson go, F Batman. Because Dick Grayson, that's so out of character for him. Dick Grayson would never, even if he's like angry with Bruce, he has been. He's been like righteously angry at Batman before, and that's the whole reason he struck out on his own as Nightwing. Like, even when he was angry with him and just full of contempt for him, he still cared about Bruce very, very much. It was very much like a family feud. But Dick Grayson never, like, despised Batman. I think he wished that things could have changed so that they could have worked a bit more harmoniously. But ultimately, him striking on his own was a good thing for him, and he never hated Bruce for that. And ultimately, you know, they did come back together as the Bat family. You know, as more members joined and as the family grew, they became a tight-knit unit. This just doesn't seem right for this show at all. I mean, if you're gonna have Dick Grayson, you gotta have Dick Grayson. You have to have Mr. Lighthearted, making a joke every once in a while, flirting with the girls kind of thing. Just showing off his acrobatics. That's him! That's so him! But this looks like Jason Todd. And I'm glad I'm not the only person who has said that. That's the first thing I thought whenever I saw the trailer. And then I scrolled through Twitter because I knew people were going to be talking about it. And sure enough, I wasn't the only one who was saying, why is Dick Grayson acting like Jason Todd? Because he is. The killing, the guns, and despising Batman. That's Jason Todd. Super serious, you know, badass Jason Todd. I think they're trying to pull in, like, the best of both worlds with Dick Grayson's, like, tragic past and being, you know, Robin #1. And then they're going to try and pull in Jason Todd's personality with being a badass and being, you know, super, I don't know, super serious. Being super Jason Todd. I don't know how else to put it. It's not Dick Grayson. It's Jason Todd in Dick Grayson's name. I think times are confusing me too. Because, like, Robin is wearing the Robin suit. Dick Grayson is wearing, like, the Robin suit. But it seems like he just broke apart from Batman. So I'm thinking, well then, shouldn't he be getting the Nightwing suit soon? And since he looks to be like the oldest one there, like, shouldn't he be Nightwing by now? But then Raven is so young, and I can't tell how old Beast Boy is. Like, are they newly formed Teen Titans? In that case, then, like, I don't know. I'm getting things very mixed up in my head. Like, wait, what? But I'm a stickler for things like that. I'm a stickler for, like, time periods and chronological order and, you know, things being kind of precise. And canon, which nothing's ever really going to be canon whenever you turn a comic book into either a movie or a TV series. Then it won't happen. And I didn't really expect it to, but there are so many, like, little things that bother me, and, like, a couple big things that bother me that, like, the little things can't really be brushed aside for me. Like, now I've got the big things and the little things I take issue with. It's like, you know what? This is all an issue for me. I don't know what could have made it better. I think people were wanting it to be better, but really, like, after seeing it, they're like, no, I've lost all hope in it. I'm sure somebody will, you know, try and sit down and watch the first couple episodes to see if it really is better than what the trailer is showing us, but I don't know. I've kind of lost interest. Oh yeah. One thing I noticed that seems a bit off is the show is rated MA. Like, for mature content. And it's based off of the Teen Titans. I know it's not called Teen Titans, it's called Titans, but why? It's supposed, like, they're still supposed to be, like, young adults and, like, in their teen, you know, ages. Like, Raven looks like she's a teen. So, like, why are they making it so dark and mature, and they're gonna, like, throw in all of this, like, grisly content and stuff when that's not what Titans and Teen Titans was supposed to be? Someone on Twitter mentioned, like, DC is just going dark now. Like, they're going much darker, and we're just gonna have to accept that. But that was the whole point of Teen Titans and Young Justice being formed, like, in the comics to begin with. You know, Justice League was a very lighthearted thing, very lighthearted, I can't talk, very lighthearted comic that you could pick up and read. But then arcs became darker and grislier and more serious, and they thought, okay, so we need to provide something for our audience that will be lighthearted and take a bit of a break from, you know, these dark plot points. So they created Teen Titans and Young Justice. So, I don't know, it just defeats the purpose. I think I would have really liked to see something lighthearted and fun. It can be, you know, live action and still be lighthearted and fun. It doesn't have to be a cartoon. But that's something that the cartoon did right, is it didn't take itself too seriously. They had things like Slade and very serious, like, plot points like Trigon and stuff like that. But at its core, it was always meant to entertain and give younger audiences and older audiences a good time. I don't know what more to say about that. I mean, look at Man of Steel. Just think about it. If you haven't seen this video, it's a side-by-side comparison of what, you know, the actor in the suit looked like and the scenes looked like before people came in and, like, the editors came in and, like, pretty much gray washed it. I mean, the suit was a bright blue, the clouds and everything in the sky were very vibrant and bright. They shot it very well. It was very pretty and very cinematically pleasing. And then they just pasted a gray film over it, and just to make it dark and grim and gritty. Someone mentioned what Garfield's humor is going to be like in the show, like, wondering what it would be like, and honestly, his humor is super detrimental to, like, Teen Titans. He pulls things together, like, for the team, and he's very goofy, and he knows how to use his abilities like in a very comedic well-timed comedic way. And I think honestly, if they're going to make Teen Titans like a grisly, mature themed show, Garfield's humor isn't going to be special anymore. What people do for humor in a dark and grisly show is they make someone a smartass and a wisecrack. That's the humor. It's sarcasm and biting punchlines and very, cynical humor. There's no room for, goofy, kind of lighthearted jokes and stuff like that. There's no room for it because that sets off the tone that the show is trying to provide for its audience, which is, dark and cynical and stuff like that. So the humor has to be cynical. And if I had to guess, I would assume that if they're going to give Garfield his humor, it's going to be that kind of humor. It's going to be that kind of cynical, dark sarcasm. Which really sucks. Like, I think that really sucks. I think that takes away from him as a character a lot. I was thinking about something else, thinking about how serious they're making Dick Grayson and turning him into Jason Todd. I mean, some people could maybe say that in the Teen Titans animated show, that Robin was really the serious one of the group. And I started kind of thinking about that, and I think it's only a matter of perspectives. Because I think that in his hometown, in Gotham, working with Batman, he probably was the lighthearted and most, jovial one of his, group of Batman, Alfred, and, Gotham. I think that was him. But whenever he moves to, be with the Teen Titans, then he's the odd man out, and it's like, oh, wow. These people are much more, lighthearted and happier than I am. And they're sillier than I am. And I think they notice, oh, wow, this guy's, super serious. That's what you get when you get a guy from Gotham, I guess. I think it's a matter of perspectives. He was serious, but not as serious as, Batman and the people in Gotham. But, that being said, Robin in the Teen Titans animated show was still, a human being, basically. He still, smiled, and he still joked with people. He still had, very touching, heartfelt moments with Starfire. He was still himself. You could still tell, oh, that's Dick Grayson. He's just with a different crowd, so it makes him look different. It makes him look like he's the serious one. But I can't say that we're going to really get that. I mean, by looking at the trailer of the new Titans show, I don't know if we're going to get that. I think they're going to try and make him very melancholy and serious. And, and badass. It's so absurdly edgy looking, is what it is. It's so absurdly edgy. And that has lost the appeal for me. For a lot of people, it's lost the appeal for people. Just being, so try-hard edgy and making characters what they're not. So, I mean, just by looking at one trailer, I have to say, I'm out. I'm not gonna watch it, probably. That doesn't mean you shouldn't. I think give it a try, sure. But if you're not going to, I see where you're coming from. I get it. Well, this has been a good first video that I've done in a long time, so I'm gonna end it here. See you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.